Hi Vibrant Souls, welcome or welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is Vibrant Soul Tarot and I'm super excited and grateful that you are joining me today. So today's pick a card reading, we are going to be looking at a specific person that you are currently not in contact with and are in a separation with. In other words, and you are wondering how they truly feel about you. So if this is something that you were drawn to for whatever reason, or you're just curious about, there's most likely messages in here for you. And I can't wait to get started. So let's not waste any more time and just get into the pile selections. So today for this reading, we have these 3 piles to choose from. And we're going to start right here with pile number 1. Pile number 1, we have the Wild Child Tarot deck. And on top, we have this Rose Quartz Crescent Moon. Then for pile 2, we have the Tarot of Oppositions. And on top of this one, we have this Labradorite Moon. Then moving along, last but not least, to pile number 3, we have the Textured Tarot. And on top of this, we have this Swan Jasper Crescent Moon. For pile number 3. So please take your time in choosing your pile. If you do need more time, you are more than welcome to pause the video here. Please take as much as you need. When you do have your pile selected, I will post the timestamps for each one in the description box below for your convenience as always, along with any other information you may be looking for, such as the decks used. I post that in the description box. There is also a channeled song connected to each pile for you and your reading in the description box. And yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to check the description box first. If you do not see your question answered, then feel free to comment your question and I will try my very, very best. I am only human though, but I will try my best to get back to you and answer your question in a timely manner. And yeah, that's it. So I can't wait to see you guys at your reading. I will see you guys there. Bye. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose the Rose Quartz or if you chose the Wild Child Tarot deck, either way, welcome. So today we are asking about a person that you are not in contact with at this time, that you are currently in a separation with. We are asking how they truly feel about you and about the connection at this time. We're going to be using different types of channeled messages as well as an oracle to clarify after the tarot, and then at the end we are going to be getting some advice for you, so feel free to stick around. There's a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and begin. So first things first, I want to ask Spirit, if you could please tune me in to my pile 1's collective energy. Spirit, if you could please show me in pile 1 with the most clarity how this person on their mind that they are not in contact with at this time feels about them. How do they truly feel about this person and what do they need to know? Spirit, please. Thank you. Okay. So how do they truly feel about you, pile 1? What's going on? How do they truly feel about you? We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Cups in reverse. We have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, as well as the Queen of Swords in reverse. I'm going to take that one because it flipped up. Okay, clarifying the Page of Pentacles here. We have, oh my goodness, we have Justice, clarifying the Knight of Cups, we have the Hermit in reverse, and we also have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, but I think I'm just going to keep the Hermit for right now. Clarifying the 5 of Pentacles, We have the Ten of Pentacles. And clarifying the Queen of Swords in reverse. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. This is why I always say too, like sometimes I get comments and people will be like, why did you put that card back? I wanted to see it, or it was supposed to be out. And I like to remind people that if a card is definitely meant to be out, it'll still be out regardless if I put it back or not, because hello. So bottom of the deck, what do we have for you? We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. It feels like right now this person is being faced with a period of growth, with the Page of Pentacles being the first card coming out. It doesn't feel like the easiest. And with the Justice card being here to clarify it, it feels like this is something that is very karmic, or at least was intended for this person's karmic path. And I mean that because there is a lot of self-development that this person is currently going through right now in regards to how they feel about you and how they feel about the situation. I feel like right now, you know, if it were up to them with the Page of Pentacles too, like they would be wanting to develop this, or at least to see where it goes. I feel like they almost feel like it is a little bit undeveloped, or they feel like they didn't get to experience the connection the way that maybe they intended to, or the way that their mind is kind of making them feel like they should have at this time. And with Justice, I feel like they're kind of in a period of contemplation. Like I feel like they are trying to weigh out their options. They're trying to weigh out maybe a specific decision on what it is they should do in their part. And also the fact that Justice is coming out here, I feel like maybe this had to do with something that was because it's like balancing the scales. So like, for example, this could be a karmic situation from like past life, but also this could be happening because of things that had happened within the situation. Like this person didn't give you what you needed, or they did something, or they said something that kind of caused this. It feels like this was kind of like a justice type of situation, like a cause and effect is a good way to put it as well. But also I feel like this person is trying to think with the Justice card too. I feel like they are trying to be very diplomatic here and decide what's best for them at this time. Because we do see that there are some unresolved feelings here. With the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Hermit in reverse, it feels like these are feelings left unsaid. It feels like these are feelings that this person does not get to express. And it feels like they are not going in the right direction when it comes to that, at least at this time, like being able to express their feelings in a positive outlet. I think that there's things that this person is still realizing about themselves and about their feelings with this Hermit here. It almost feels like this person needs some alone time, or maybe had needed some alone time for them to... what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say contemplate. And that kind of reminds me of what we were just talking about with the Justice card. Like there is a lot of contemplation here about their feelings, about what they want. And it just feels like with the Knight of Cups kind of coming in reverse, that there's no outlet for them to express this, to let this out with. And that could even be like someone to talk to, not even like expressing it to you. You know, and it feels like this person does feel a bit isolated, and at times it feels like they feel a bit alone in life. And I think that one of the ways when they were with you, or at least in contact with you, you did make them feel a lot better in that sense. Like you did make them feel a lot less alone. You did make, you know, allow them to experience emotions, or at least feel them in ways. And now it kind of feels like they're just bottled up and isolated at this time. I feel like with the Five of Pentacles in reverse as well too, this person is slowly but surely coming to grips with accepting the situation. I feel like it also was something that was very triggering to them. And that could come as a surprise for some of you is what I'm hearing, because I am kind of getting some insecurities and some abandonment wounds being triggered here. And that could come as a surprise for some of you by like this person's actions of like, well, they decided, or that was what they get because of this, you know, it's like they should have expected that. But it feels like these are things that are coming up for them while they are not in contact with you. You know, like it feels like with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, it kind of feels like they don't have a choice now, and it's affecting them. Like it does feel like a loss, and it does feel like it hurts. And with the Ten of Pentacles being the clarifier, a lot of that has to do with the future. I think that the Ten of Pentacles coming out actually kind of makes me think that this person still has hope for a future. It makes me think that this person may envision a future, but right now with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, it kind of feels like that's out of reach, a little bit out of grasp. But also, you know, it feels like this person is starting to feel a little bit better than what they did, at least before and initially, because I think that this person was at one point in time very triggered by this situation, and they may have shut themselves out or shut you out or kind of like isolated themselves in a way that we were kind of seeing before. And now it feels like they're starting to come out of that just a little bit, though. Like it feels like it's not all the way there, but it does feel like they are still trying to tend to and nurture some sort of wounds here in regards to whether that's being left out in the cold or blocked. Like that kind of feels like that kind of situation. Or also it may feel as well too like this person like feels like they don't have anything to do about it, or they can't do anything about it, I'm sorry, because of like their own actions. Like for example, they're like, well, I can't go back now, I can't go back on what I did now, I can't take that back now, you know what I'm saying? And so it kind of feels like they were feeling that like loss of like they don't have control anymore of this, and it's very triggering. Now, that kind of brings me to the Queen of Swords in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune. Speaking of not having control, it feels like that's definitely the Wheel of Fortune in reverse energy coming out is like, I don't have control over this person's perception of me, aka you. And they're like, I feel like pile one wants nothing to do with me. I feel like pile one is very angry at me, and I feel like there's nothing I can do to quite literally change this at this time. I think that they would be even a little bit timid or unsure or scared to address anything with you, if that was even possible, like to reach out, because they feel right now at this time that you may be very cold towards them or tell them off or be mean to them. And this may for some of you be rightfully deserved. They may deserve that. So that could be why this is coming up as well. But I think there's also a wonder, especially with the Queen of Cups at the bottom too. I feel like there's almost a wonder if you still have feelings, if you still care, or if you would want anything. But I think that for them personally, to play it safe and to feel better in the moment, they may convince themselves otherwise. Like they may convince themselves that you don't care or you don't want anything to do with them. That might help them cope with this separation. It might help them cope with like, oh, well, there's nothing I can do about it, so why even try? Because it feels like if they were to like think or entertain the fact, or maybe even believe that there was a chance here with you still, at least at this time, it might create some sort of like uncomfortable feelings or some yearning that they may just not want to deal with. And I'm hearing that they may have gotten over that phase, like that was a part of this before, and now it feels like they've kind of like, well, pile one doesn't care, pile one hates me, or blah blah blah, and that may make them feel better. But I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, they're kind of feeling like this situation is down on its luck, and also a little bit of a helplessness. Kind of like the Five of Pentacles can also indicate a feeling a little bit of a helplessness too. And also this person could be really just trying to be focused on what they can control in the future here too, because it feels like what they're doing is they're trying their best to detach. I don't think that that's easy, and I don't think that they're 100% there yet, but they may be focusing on developing like financial wealth, because we have the Five of Pentacles going to the Ten of Pentacles. Like they may be building a future or working on something, or their job or something that may help them in the long run, because that's what they can control. And that seems to be like what a lot of their focus is going on right now, because it's something that also is just needed. I think that they need in their life right now too. So with that being said, let's get some oracles and see Spirit, what else can you tell us about how this person truly feels right now about pile 1? We have chemistry. Wow. So we have chemistry and passion coming out. How do they currently feel? Oh yeah, so we have the shadow side with the dark side of the moon. So this card definitely indicates like they're kind of going through a tough time with this. This is the second time I've seen this too, which is the okay, this makes a lot of sense actually. We have the confusions, Neptune, and illusions, and we also have the reflection and projection. So it feels like right now this person may not be seeing you or this situation clearly. It's kind of like they're projecting this. So this energy right here too with the Queen of Swords, what I was saying, like if they're like, oh, like they don't care anymore, and you're sitting there thinking and you're like, well, that couldn't be further from the truth. Like I do care and I do have these feelings. Like you were like, why would they even think that, or how dare they think that I would be like that? It's because it's definitely a projection. They're projecting what they're assuming and what they're feeling like, and it's not necessarily true. I do feel like there is still some confusion about this situation, and it kind of is causing this person to face a lot of things, like the shadow side, the moon, the dark night of the soul. That's not an easy energy. That's actually something that's really tough. And I feel like with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse coming out, that's something that this person is currently trying to work through, is their own insecurities, their own doing, it seems, in things that internally, especially with the Hermit here in reverse, you know, there's a lot of inner emotions that this person is kind of triggered by, and I feel like there is a bit of an avoidance here for that. That's why it is in reverse. But with the Knight of Cups in reverse as well too, they may be suppressing at this time too certain feelings and certain things. But you know, nonetheless, there is the passion, there is the chemistry here that they're feeling, like the attraction, and it feels like this is what's stopping them from wanting to fully detach in the first place. It's like they still feel this lingering, or like the lingering of your energy or the desire for this, and it's causing this dark night of the soul, which I said is it's not an easy energy for sure. But right now it seems they're definitely kind of in a assumption. I feel like this is definitely like an assumption type of energy. Like I don't know what's going on with pile 1, so I'm going to assume this. Also, I think that they're telling themselves stories in their head to make them feel better. Like, and they're not necessarily good stories too. Like I'm talking about like, oh, like for example, like they may be like, oh, well, pile 1 was probably gonna, you might hate hearing this, I'm so sorry, but this is like something that, it's just an example, but they're like, oh, pile 1 may be a cheater anyways, or pile 1 could be this type of person anyways, like kind of making assumptions about you. But it's because what they're trying to do is they're trying to minimize the fact of the blow of the loss that they took from you, if that makes sense. So they would be projecting those things onto you to make themselves feel better, because if they were to accept the fact that maybe that's not true, or that they are just doing the projections, that loss would be a hell of a lot harder, because, you know, then they'd be like, oh damn, I just lost a really good person, or it was gonna be this, you know what I'm saying? And they would just, it causes like this yearning within this person, because I can feel it in my heart chakra of that they just don't like. It makes them very uncomfortable at the same time. Yeah, look at, we have attraction, Mars, and hot. Spicy hot. I want to get some channeled messages. I don't mean to be moving like really fast. I just have a lot that I want to cover. I try to keep it in a time limit here, but not really because I care about the readings being so short, or it's more or less because it will, my phone and my device will cut me off if it goes too long. I'm working on it. I'm still working on that, guys. All right, so what are some channeled messages about how this person truly feels at this time for pile 1, please, Spirit? Oh. Yeah, I'm happy I found you. What are some channeled messages that this person truly feels? I don't know if you are the one. How does this person feel? I feel alive when we kiss. Yeah, there's a lot of like magnetic like passion, especially if when you guys were together. I can definitely see that for sure. And we have I can't commit to you. Bottom of the deck, we have I messed up, I know, which I think I'm going to leave that there. Oh, look at, remember those projections that we were talking about? We have, are you real? Like that kind of, I don't know, that kind of ties in, or at least makes me think of that type of energy. But with this, I'm so happy I found you. There is such an appreciation for you and for your energy. And even if it like ended horribly, or even if like this person is going through a tough time, I still feel like the moments that you guys shared, that like how you made them feel and how happy you made them feel in that moment, I think is still like worth it, you know? It's like they're like, and also I think this can also be like interpreted as a higher self perspective of like, I'm really happy I found you, because there's a tremendous amount of growth that this person is going through right now, and their ego self, or their maybe their 3D self is like not feeling that way at times, especially when it comes to facing uncomfortable things. But in the long run, in a higher perspective, like the higher self, you know, it's like, oh, I am very happy that I found you. Like this was actually in the end a very good thing, even if this person can't see it right now, or you can't see it right now. It's very hard to see through that, especially if you're experiencing feelings and emotions in a situation that you don't want to experience. I completely understand that. And let's get some more channel messages. I don't think I really need to talk too much about this. I think this person you may realize this person has commitment issues. Especially if this person was like in a runner type of energy, or got triggered and self-sabotaged in ways, or if there was other, like for example, like if there was, this person just wasn't faithful, or wasn't all just into one person, that's coming through as commitment issues. Okay, what are some other channeled messages about how this person feels about pile 1? Oh, we just said that. I couldn't handle the connection, so I ran. We have, I'm struggling mentally right now, which we definitely saw that before. I just saw I'm trying to get my shit together. That kind of feels very fitting as well. I want you to make the first move. Stop. When I think about you, I touch myself. Good grief. Can you control yourself? Even the messages coming out here are spicy. Damn. Okay. There's a one that fell, and I think this is like 3 of them too. So we will. Bottom of the deck, we have I don't want to fight anymore. So I'm going to leave that to that. Oh, underneath that, we have you are so beautiful. And then let me grab this one that fell. We have, I wish we could go back to how it used to be. I don't know why I acted that way. And then we have show me you care. This show me you care reminds me, and it's funny because it's right on top. You can't see it though. Reminds me of that wondering if you do care, or if you've detached, or you've gone cold. I feel like this person feels like you have every reason to not care, but there's still kind of a curiosity. And of course, it's still an innate desire to be cared for and to be shown, you know, that we are cared for regardless of whatever happens and regardless of our mistakes. But that's not always what it should be. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you should definitely use your discernment when it comes to, if you do feel like reaching out to this person. I feel like you're being guided to be very aware of what this person is showing you, and maybe even what they have shown you at this time. It feels like this person's not ready for that. We have the fact that I can't commit to you, and stuff like that. It feels like it could be a repeated cycle. I'm going to be quite honest. And it feels like there's a lot of sexual attraction and a lot of sexual energy that tends to get in the way of logic here, possibly on both sides. That's something I see a lot in passionate connections. So That's not like that's anything like weird or taboo, but it is something to remember. It is something to note and to be aware of. That is your attraction for this person, whether that be sexual, energetic, or just a desire. Is that kind of clouding your judgment when it comes to making decisions on what's best for you? And or is it blinding you to what at times it can blind us to red flags or things like that? So these are things to just be aware of. I'm not saying that you are or are not doing that. I am just putting it out there for your awareness. You can make a little list about it. You can see, you can decide. Like, and what I mean by make a list is this person's actions, like, is it worth it? That is it, you know what I'm saying? Like their behavior, is that aligning with what you want? You know, all of those kind of things. I feel like there's a need for just a little bit of contemplation before or maybe after making a move, you know? And also I feel like called to say, like, of course this person would want you to make the first move. That's something that we would all want, especially if we feel like we don't deserve it, or especially if we feel like we messed up or we did something wrong. We would like the other person to kind of come first to say, hey, you know, I don't hate you. I still want to talk to you, but that's up for you to decide if you feel like this person deserves that or not. In fact, that's kind of the next thing, is we're going to be getting your advice for this situation. So I think that's it for right now about how this person feels. It does feel like they are feeling a bit guilty, but it still kind of feels like they're not in the 100% good energy to like receive a connection of this sort right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it still feels like there's a process here with this person. Makes sense. We have the dark night of the soul and we have the hermit in reverse. Like, it definitely feels like this person still has some inner work to do, and it still feels like this person has some lessons to learn. And for some of you, if you feel intuitively like your absence helps that, and your absence is a guide or helpful to those lessons, then I would remain, you know, in absence, because a lot of the times, you know, words are words, and we hear words all the time and people say words all the time, but actions do speak louder. And a lot of the time it's ironic that what we don't say in our own absence can make a bigger impact than us saying what we want, or, you know, or saying anything, or even saying how we feel. It kind of feels like it makes a dent. You know, your energy is definitely missed, and your energy is definitely important, and it's powerful. So be aware of how you conduct that energy or direct that energy as well. So let's get sometimes I always feel like, especially with heavy messages, like when I have to go to the next thing, I'm like, I have to lighten up the mood. Like, well, now let's do your advice. It feels awkward sometimes. I'm like, on to the next. Okay, so what advice do we have here, Spirit, for pile 1? Patience. Wow. Patience is always great advice. Sometimes we want to, I think this goes in turn for that energy of like, you know, if you were feeling conflicted about what to do because you're seeing now that this person was like, oh, I want you to make the first move, or, you know, yeah, this person may be open to receiving your energy, but it may not be for the reasons of what you truly deserve and what you truly want. And it also probably won't turn out the way that you want at this time. Like I said, I think there are still things happening, and I think it does take time. And so patience is coming out as important advice for you in regards to this situation. She's even holding a clock. We also have community in reverse. Let's get one more and then we'll talk about it all together. What advice do we have? What's the advice here for pile 1, Spirit? Oh, man holding heart in reverse. I was going to say, I just saw door to romance as well. Yeah, it feels like the man holding heart in reverse is kind of telling me that this person isn't able to receive the love that you want to give at this time. Like, it feels like there's a lot of closed off energy. It feels like there's a disconnect. It kind of feels like the same thing of the Knight of Cups in reverse, but only towards the advice, it feels like this person isn't going to be able to be that person at this time that you need them to be anyways. Like whether that's just because they can't express their feelings or because they're very closed off in the heart matters of the heart. It feels like it just feels like there's a disconnect from this person and from and going too deep at this time. Also be aware of who you give your heart to and stuff. Like if this person is capable of holding it, if this person is worthy of holding it, are they deserving and are they able to take care of it? If you were going to allow this person to hold it, whether that's again or you know, continuously. And with the community coming in reverse too, this is an interesting message. I feel like this is all about allowing people to, there's like an acceptance here of allowing people to enter and exit your life when you feel it is best for you. Are these connections serving you? Are you going to allow them to leave your life and possibly allow better ones to come in? Because I do feel like I did see that door to romance and upright for a reason, and that would be about opening a door, or like it can, a lot of times it's about new connections or a budding romance as well. So I think that in regards to this advice in this situation, it kind of feels like what's meant to leave is meant to leave. What's meant to come back, it will come back if it's meant to, and new people are meant to enter. It feels like there's a divine specific community out there for you, but you may have to feel alone first for a little bit. Like you may have to rock alone, you may have to vibe alone until the right people enter your life. And that is where we have the patience kind of coming in. Now I want to read the man holding a heart in reverse. I feel like there's a message specifically in the guidebook for that could be helpful to this as well. Something that I haven't talked about or something. Oh my God, guys, I literally, look at door to romance. I opened up on new beginning in love. But I feel like that didn't come out, like not yet, because the bottom of the deck we have door to personal healing and happiness as well. So it's like your personal healing and your personal happiness is very important. And like we were talking about with the patience and stuff, all things that are meant to come are going to come in time. But until then, you know, you got other things to focus on. You got other important things like yourself and your life and your healing and all of these things as well. Okay. So when this card is reversed, it could indicate a disconnect or even total shutdown regarding your emotional life. Wow. Okay. That I was feeling like this person is disconnected. I don't know why I wanted to read this then. Maybe hopefully there's messages that I didn't say. So, it's time to open up and know that you can handle deep emotions and the energy they bring up, whether it's anger, grief, or utter bliss. You can be comfortable in their experience and in their expression. The man holding a heart reverse can also indicate a difficult connection or even a relationship with a man who may be easy to anger, deceitful, or quick to criticize. His behavior could be attributed to fear and self-doubt, yet he would never admit it. You deserve honoring any relationship, so some boundaries, and don't buy into this emotional chaos. Your soul longs for emotional peace. And the affirmation is, I am comfortable with all my emotions. I honor and express them in appropriate ways, and I feel peace. Okay, I feel like this part was a very important message to your advice too, about like whether it's anger or grief or the yearning or the bliss or whatever it is, like, you know, that you should express your emotions or at least validate them for how you feel. That's something that's very important, and that's something that's really important on the healing journey, as well as I do think it is reflective to the original messages and the confirmation that this person isn't able to be that person that you need them to be. Like I said before, it feels like there is a disconnect here when it comes to this person, and them being able to, whether it's just articulate or accept or feel certain emotions. And I love the fact that it states as well to not get caught up in this person's emotional chaos. And I think that means to you personally, Pile 1, to not let this person's emotional chaos affect you or your self-worth or how you feel about yourself. Okay, that's very important here, to not let someone else's issues, you know, make you feel any less than. So that's something that I think is important to work on and possibly try to detach from, is that, you know, feeling of like it's your fault or it has anything to do with you. Like, it feels like this person has been like this probably for a very long time, and you are unfortunately the person to surface it or to bring it out. And it feels like this person is starting to face these things. It feels like this person is on this healing journey with the dark night and seeing things differently and stuff, but this person is not nearly there or capable of being there. Like we saw with the Hermit in reverse, there's still a lot of inner work to do. I think this person needs alone time. I think they need isolation, even though they may hate that because it feels like they were feeling isolated and they didn't like that. Because it comes back to what you deserve. Are you willing to accept that for yourself, or do you want better? Do you want more? Because the door to romance is saying was a quick glimpse of there is more out there. You just have to give yourself time and patience. So I'll let you do that. I'll let you do that by ending this reading. Thank you so much, Pile 1, for listening. Thank you so much for being here. Your support I'm so grateful for it, honestly. Any type of support, whether it's just a simple like for the video, it shows me that you do like this channel, that you do like the videos, and maybe you want to see more, or they are helpful in any way, shape, or form. I know sometimes even people say that they just like to put the videos on and it keeps them company, so I'm happy to do that as well. But yeah, thank you to all who comment as well and share your experiences, share your support and your stories. I love reading them. I love hearing them. I'm so grateful for every single one of you, and I'm really grateful for the subscribers too. You guys just fill my heart with joy, and yeah, I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. So if you actually don't want to miss out on the next one, then feel free to subscribe. Quick little plug there. Feel free to subscribe, and you won't, and I will see you there. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the moon, the labradorite, crescent, and full moon, or if you chose the Tarot of Oppositions deck, either way, welcome. So today we are asking about that person that you are currently in separation with, that person on your mind that you are not in contact with. We are wondering how they are truly feeling about you at this time that you are coming across this reading. So I hope you guys are comfortable. I hope this reading is finding you well. And let's not waste any time because I do have a lot that I want to cover here. We got the tarot, we got some oracles, we got some channeled messages, and even some advice at the end for you. So like I said, let's not waste any more time and let's get into it. First things first, though, I do want to ask Spirit, if you could please tune me in to my Pile 2's collective energy. If you could please show me and Pile 2 with the most clarity here how this person that they are not in current contact with feels about them. What are their true feelings for Pile 2 at this time, please? Thank you. What are their true feelings for you? We have the Three of Cups in reverse. What are their true feelings for you right now at this time? We have Justice. We have the Eight of Pentacles. What are their feelings for Pile 2, please? Okay, we have the Ten of Swords. Interesting. There's not much different in the energies, the way these cards look. It's called the Tarot of Opposition because it's two opposing sides, but it is the Ten of Swords, however, so you can kind of see. I see this person has their eyes closed, though, and this person has their eyes open. I mean, there is a few differences, but from the way that from an energetic standpoint, it does not look that different, right? Because if you compare it to like the Three of Cups upright to this one, there's a big difference. And I think that's very telling to the energy of the Ten of Swords anyways. It's kind of like that oof energy, no matter how you put it. Okay, so the card coming out here too is we have the Fool I am going to put it back though, just for the sake of space. We can talk about it, or if it's meant to come out and another time, it will definitely come out. So clarifying this Three of Cups is a card that flew way too far away from me. Got it. We have the Star. Interesting. Clarifying this Justice. We have the Knight of Wands. Clarifying the Eight of Pentacles. And we have the King of Cups in reverse. And clarifying the Ten of Swords here, please. Spirit, we have the Empress in reverse as well. Interesting. Bottom of the deck here, we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck does make me feel like this person is kind of interested in conversing with you. Like they may have thought about reaching out, or for some of you, they may have even tried to reach out. But I think that there's a lot that they don't really know how to communicate. And I think that I am kind of sensing with this Page of Swords in reverse a little bit of bitter energy, like maybe like they wouldn't even be able to communicate their feelings in a nice way. I know that sounds messed up, but it just feels like, or it would get off on that kind of tangent. I can't tell a lot of you why, but let's talk about the Three of Cups in reverse here, or just in this kind of energy. It feels like this person is in a type of energy to where they're kind of feeding their ego with other people. This person is definitely coming through as in a player type of energy. But I want to be honest with you. There's a feeling here of like the Three of Cups here, if like the grass was not greener. Like I think there are some feelings of regrets for specific decisions that this person may have made, or maybe even not made. Like if this person did not try hard enough, or did not chase, or did not want anything, it feels like, or did not want commitment. It does feel like there are some regrets here in regards to this. Now, I think the Star card is saying like, well, I hope that maybe, you know, something can be in the future, or like there is kind of a hopeful energy of bringing back some sort of joy within this connection, because I do think that this person did appreciate the vibe that you brought to them. I think that this person did appreciate, like it was almost like on a friendship level too. Not saying that this person, if this is a romantic situation, this person wasn't attracted to you, but I think that there was something about the connection that you two shared that was and is very special to this person, and that's kind of why they're feeling like it. Like I think you could have brought a lot of joy into this person's life as well, or could have been very fun for them, and just an all along like joyful experience. And for the most part, or at least in the beginning, and now they're definitely feeling the lack of that, or the loss of that. And they could have other people around too. I'm definitely seeing that this person is the type that would entertain other situations or have other people. And it just feels like they don't necessarily compare to you. They don't bring that same kind of feeling to them, and they don't bring that same kind of vibe, which makes a lot of sense because no one, pile two, compares to you. You are uniquely you. And that's the beautiful part of being you and yourself, is that no one else can replicate that. Now, it feels like with the Justice, the Justice and the Knight of Wands, this person's definitely a little bit of a player. I think they're normally used to acting on impulse, and I think they're normally used to just doing whatever the heck they want. But with the Justice card here, it feels like there is a sense of wanting to really be careful with you and be careful with this situation. So for example, like if this person wants to reach out and they haven't, if they're not blocked, of course, because I know sometimes that could be the case here, if you have this person blocked or whatever, or maybe they've been thinking about unblocking you or whatever the case is, it feels like they're really hesitant about what to say and what to address you with, and what it even is that they feel like they can handle at this time. It feels like this person would want to weigh out this situation very carefully. It also feels like this person doesn't want to burden you anymore, and it feels like if this person had wronged you, there is a sense of wanting to kind of right that, but also this person is kind of also acknowledging that they may not be able to 100% fully fulfill those promises. That does not mean that the desire is not there to do so, though, is kind of what they're saying. Now, interesting with the Eight of Pentacles and the King of Cups. The King of Cups here in this energy is a very interesting image of this person. I'll show you the upright so you can get the polarity of it as well. This person, you can even see it in their eyes. They look like they have compassion. They're, you know, they are happy, it's sunny and everything like this. And what's telling me about this right here is that this person is feeling very bitter about this situation. There's a lot of jealousy that I'm kind of sensing, and anger and bitterness from this situation. That I think that this person does not like not having like an emotional control over other people, and so they may feel like that is a loss too. And at times this person could be a little bit emotionally manipulative, and it feels like it's all kind of coming back to haunt them, is what I'm sensing with this. But also there's just a lot of feelings that this person doesn't want to feel. They don't like to sit with this. That's not their forte. This person could also be a little bit emotionally immature at times, just because when the King of Cups kind of comes in reverse, it kind of means that there's mastery still needed. Or it could also indicate using, it could also be like a sign and almost a warning as well, that this person may use their emotions to influence others, like emotionally manipulate, like, oh, feel bad for me, or do this. And I'm not saying this person, it can do this right now to you, because it seems like you guys are in no contact, but that could have been something that this person did that could be coming to the surface for you. But it is a general reading, so please just take what resonates, depending on the situation. Now, I'm also just feeling, though, that there is an avoidance for this type of energy, this type of feelings. This person is trying to avoid this and not want to. So they could be very busy, focusing on their work, focusing on their studies, focusing on the things that they can control. This is something that we see a lot. We saw that a little bit in another reading, or I think in pile 1 as well. But it's showing here specifically because, of course, everyone has, you know, things to do and they have important things to focus on. But these two cards are coming out specifically to say that this person may always come across as busy, never have the time for you, never want to deal with anything. And it shows because there is an avoidance of sitting and feeling, or having to face something, or having to do something. So if this person for a long time was in an avoidant energy, or if they were like the type that was like, I'm always busy, I don't have time for this, I don't have time to text you back, I don't have time to reply to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's definitely an energy of there was an avoidance there due to some sort of emotions, regardless of what they are, what this picture portrays. It just feels like it's something that they're not wanting to feel at this time. So it looks like this person is kind of still in that habit of doing that. Not going too deep as well, trying not to face certain things, because we have the 10 of Swords here and the Empress in reverse, which is definitely a powerful loss. That's a blow. That's a blow to this person's life. That's a blow to this person's ego. This is feeling like at one point in time I could have had it all, or I've had it all, and now I have no choice but to accept this defeat, to accept this painful ending, to accept this ending of this painful cycle, which kind of makes me think the fact that it's coming out here. This person does look a little bit more peaceful, but also it feels like with the eyes closed here that they're not seeing everything clearly, or 100% looking at it from an angle, or accepting it from an angle that is the healthiest at this time. Again, this could also be in regards to that avoidance energy here. But it feels like they're not wanting to see the result of this. They're not wanting to see the damage of this. And it's because of this, like I said, this loss. Like, it feels like, you know, there was so much potential here. There was such a love here. There was such a, even if it is just potential, you know what I'm saying? And this could have been your energy, your compassion. the feelings you brought into this person as well. And now it's kind of shifted to this side, which is dark and gloomy. And this once nice, I think it's an eagle. Yeah, it's an eagle. Look, now it's chained and now it's angry and it's attacking, and it feels very like, I don't have that. Like the opposite energy of the Empress is like a lot of lack, because the Empress symbolizes abundance. And so that's a very powerful message to kind of reiterate to the fact that this person is acknowledging that you are a true loss. But this person has their own vices and habits that they seem to avoid, distract, you know, like they're worldly things that they kind of run to, which could be other people, like their work or any of these things that they kind of run to not face the full feelings of this. Let's see what else the oracles say though. So Spirit, what else can you tell us, me and pile 2, what else can you tell us about this person's true feelings for them? So we have third eye with clarity coming out. What are their true feelings? Ooh, we have higher self with activation. With the decisions on the back. Oh, yeah, look at, so we have the comfort zone, south node, and clinging. And I was just going to say, with the decisions on the back, this is like this message of like, they're being faced right now with the ability and the chance to grow and evolve, or to stay the same and to stay in these same cycles and to stay in that same energy. This is definitely something for their highest good. That's why we have the higher self or the activation. But I think that this person has old habits and old ways of being that they do tend to cling to. Hence, we were looking at you know, the comfort zones. That's a great way to put those things of like comfort. And like with the 3 of Cups in reverse, like this person may, like how we were seeing that this person didn't feel the same way about other people, but it's just there to comfort their ego, to say, oh, well, I do still have options, or, you know, I do have something, kind of like the energy of like filling a void. And it's not the best way, and it's not the healthiest way. And but we all tend to at one point in our lives or another fill that void. We all feel like we have a void sometimes that we need to fill. Sometimes we try to fill it with other people. Sometimes we fill it with food. Sometimes we fill it with drugs and alcohol. And the best way, I think, to deal with this is to acknowledge that void, to feel a lot of the feelings that come up when we don't use those vices to fill the void. And then we decide to fill this void, this say void, or whatever you want to call it, with things that make us feel productive and good, like things that work towards our purpose. You know, filling it with like, you know, like when you kind of create a structured life for yourself, you kind of feel like you're living for a purpose, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. Because I think to 100%, and this could be some things that people agree or disagree, because I believe that we are fully whole within ourselves, but it's something in this human nature that we have within us that's always searching for more, yearning for something better. And so when we start to fill this said void with things that are helpful to us, productive to us, we start living our purpose, and we start living purposefully, and we start doing things in alignment to our true selves and our true nature. And I think that I'm explaining this whole thing is because I feel like this is what this person is being faced with to do, but they seem to be still clinging to this comfort zone, which I think is a natural process, and this person has to get there on their own. There's nothing you can do or say probably to make this work faster, or, you know, or even if I were to tell this person, like say this person was listening to this information, if they're not ready to receive it, they're not ready to hear it, you can have the best advice, you can say anything and everything right to a person, but if they just aren't ready, they're not ready. And that's something that's kind of hard to accept as well, especially in connections. If a person is not ready to receive a beautiful connection, then they're just not ready. And sometimes we have to do one of the highest forms of love and even self-love to us and to them is to accept somebody for who they are and accept them for where they're at and what they're capable of, and not try to force them to be anything that they're not, or force them to be more evolved than they are. And that kind of involves us taking a step back and saying, well, and it's not good for me, but I can't control you. And it feels like this is kind of what you've done, or it kind of feels like this is what's happening here. pile 2. And so this person is faced to make their own decisions and evolve in their own time, in their own way. And it's all a part of their process as well, too. Bottom of the deck, we have lack and doubts, yeah. And then we have reunion and soul ties. This person wonders if they're ever going to see you again, if they're ever going to talk to you again, or if it's ever going to be anything again, for sure. With this reunion and soul ties and the lack and doubts, they're like, I don't know if it's even possible. I think that's why with the Page of Swords coming in reverse at the bottom of the deck, I truly feel like this person like thinks about reaching out to you and thinks about things that they're going to say, and they may stop themselves, or they may just not be able to for whatever reason. Which is interesting. Okay, speaking of things I would like to say, let's get some channeled messages here. So what are some messages about how this person truly feels about pile 2, Spirit? So we have I need time. Oh, look, that's so interesting. We have I need time. Then we have I need you. And it says you were just created for me, which is interesting that I need time came out, because we have the Temperance coming right here too, where there's on the side that there's dust coming out of the vase. I don't know what you would call that. It's the thing that Aquarius bears, the water bearer. That's the title. I don't know what it's called. We can call it whatever at the end of the day, but you know what I'm talking about. And it seems like dust, and this person may feel like they're running out of time, or they don't have. And this is like light coming out of it too, which is a really beautiful depiction of the Temperance. Oh, and here the triangle's upside down. Interesting. This is such an interesting deck. I wonder why I don't use it as much anymore. I've only used it like once. I might use it more. That's actually really cool. It's a really cool concept. I love creative tarot decks like that, like where it's not just like, they really help you like and let you like use your intuition, like bloom, you know what I'm saying? Like I really like that, like to where it's like it's your intuitive vibes that you're getting off of the imagery here, not just what it says it's gonna be, which is interesting. I can actually go on a rant about that, but I won't. Okay, maybe I will just a little bit, but let me get some channel messages for you first. Okay, so what are some other channel messages, Spirit? So we have I don't love you. And then we have don't let me go ever. Very contradicting energies, kind of like this deck. Very contradicting, very opposing energies. Bottom of the deck, I have an addiction, which is very telling to the energies that we were seeing before, this person and their vices and their comfort zones and all of those things that they kind of cling to at this time. Now, I want to talk about this, which I feel like this I don't love you. That could be something that maybe came out of, like, for some of you hearing that, you're like, oof. There was a message with that in particular, and the message was, I don't even think I'm capable of love. I don't think I'm worthy of love. I don't think I'm deserving of love. I run from love. It was all of those things kind of flooding through as I was like thinking, like in my head, I was like, I don't love you. I wonder if I was like, is that denial? And it could be denial as well. I can see all of those things. But for the main part, it was like, I don't do love. I don't do well with love. All of that kind of energy coming through with that. So it does kind of feel like a denial of like, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, yeah, this is, and this, you were created just for me. It feels like this situation was just what this person and maybe even you needed to wake up and to kind of ignite this internal growth process in a very, maybe in a very intense way, maybe not in a way that was, you know, best, or not best because it's for the highest good, but what am I trying to say? It's like most digestible, most agreeable way, you know, but it's because I do sense an intensity here. But yeah, I think this person is like struggling with their own healing at this time as well too, with this. Oh, look, we were just talking about the thing that the water bearer of Aquarius. Water barrier is the title. What's the thing that holds the water? It's not I mean, we can call it a jug, but I feel like there's like a nicer name for it. But you know what? Who cares? At the end of the day, like I said, you know what I mean. Let's get some more channel messages. I don't really see me really needing to go on that little rant or whatever. Maybe that's for another time. But yeah, if you're open to it, I love decks like that too, that are like really good at showing you your own intuition and like allowing, it just feels like it gives room. Okay. So I'll just make it real short. One of the things is that sometimes when I get comments, and like, especially when I use reversals in my readings and stuff, I get the comments. There's always one that says reversals aren't real, blah, blah, blah. You have to do it this way. There's only one way to do it, and so on and so forth. I understand that that is a learned perception. Like that's what somebody taught this person and they taught that, or not even doesn't even have to be learned. That's what works best for that person, because I truly believe that you can or don't have to use reversals in either one. I have many readings on here where I don't use reversals, and I have many readings where I do. I like to intuitively choose. What I don't like though is when people try to put things in a box, like especially your own intuition. I feel like what works for you may not work for somebody else. So saying that this is the only way to do things is a very one-track minded way to look at something. And to each reader, I would hate for someone, like a new reader, to read that and to limit themselves, you know, and their own intuitive abilities, or to think that way as well, because that's how things like that are taught. Now, you're allowed to have your own way of reading, your own rights and your own opinion, but you don't have to force anyone else or assume that anyone else is wrong, or put down anyone else for doing it their way, because I think intuition works in many mysterious ways. And even if like the meaning of a card, like say the star, the meaning of the card is, you know, for a lot of time it's healing, it's hopeful energy, it's rejuvenation. Those are the things, right? But if your intuition is telling you to water your garden or do something with the water because that's what your intuition is focused on, and it has something to do with the picture, then screw the message. It's what you feel is right for you as a reader, okay? Rant over, so sorry. Sorry to waste your time, guys. Maybe some of you fast forwarded through that, or maybe some of you need to hear it. I don't know. So another message, but back to you. Another message is I try to show off around you. That could be like the things that they say as well too. I just want to cuddle with you. Oops, there's something on there. You are always on my mind. Wow. What are some channeled messages for pile 2? I'm always busy. I told you, I was like, this person says, there is an energy of like this person being like, I don't have time for this, I can't deal with this, I'm always busy, blah, blah, blah. And we can see that it's because there's an avoidance of not wanting to face certain emotions and certain feelings with the King of Cups here. That's like a comfort zone and a habit that this person tends to do as well. And I don't want to say that that's every single person who has a job and other obligations. Like if you're in a connection, you should have your own life and you should have work and you should do that. That's not what I'm saying. When it gets to an imbalance and when you are trying to avoid that. And that seems to be what this person does a lot. So we have, sometimes I think about our life. Oh, I read that wrong. Sometimes I think about what our life could have been. And let's get one more channel message for how this person truly feels, Spirit. I just want to hear your voice again. Bottom of the deck, we have I'm not doing well without you. And this one wants to peek through as I was only looking out for myself at the time, being very selfish and just in their ego. Yeah. I am not doing well without you. And what was the last one? I just want to hear your voice again. Yeah, these are all very telling messages to the messages we were already getting as well. With this, I need you, and I have an addiction as well. You could be facing with this person a lot of codependency issues, and this person could be triggering your codependency issues as well. In fact, underneath that, we have I want to be alone, but underneath that, we have I miss you so much it hurts. Like I said, it's interesting that you guys chose the the oppositions deck, because this person's energy seems to be a lot of the time going from oppositions to oppositions as well, filling one end of the spectrum, but then deciding that the other end of the spectrum is best for them. So I think that kind of denotes an internal struggle as well that this person may face when facing their feelings for this connection. But it still feels like and looks like, for the most part, guys, that this person still has a lot of things that they need to face, and they're not fully ready to do that yet. So I'll leave this information to you, as you know, and to do with what you will, what you please, of course. But I would like to move on to your advice part, because it's important to always give a little something back to you as well, too. So, Spirit, what is the advice for pile 2 in regards to this situation, please? What advice do we have? Ooh, the 3rd chakra in reverse. Ooh, that's interesting. And this came up twice, too. The thinking woman at the bottom of the deck as well. Do I feel called to pull it? Let's pull it. I feel like there is a tendency to think and think and think. And Spirit's saying as well, like, if you're thinking about things you can't control, it's best to preserve your energy, because you do give your power away in certain situations unknowingly. Now, the 3rd chakra is about your personal power as well. It could be about self-esteem, and it's a lot of times where we hold fear. I think that there's a need to balance this within you, like work on that chakra. That could be very important for you to do right now. And also, this is about you realizing that you do have the power, regardless of what anyone else is saying, what anyone else is doing. You are always in your power. You are able to make the best decisions for you. And also, I think that Spirit really wants you to work on your self-esteem when it comes to your ability and your trust to attract and have the best things for you in your life. Best relationships, best job, best people, whatever it is. There's a need to kind of have the confidence that those things are possible, and that you're capable of having those, even if one thing isn't working out in your favor. I think that there's a need to trust and quiet your mind in ways, because sometimes our minds like to make sense of things, and they can sometimes, but sometimes they can only make it worse. So if you are in an overthinking energy, please try to rest your mind. Also, there's with this card here in particular, the thinking woman, there's a lot of things you're learning. There's a lot of lessons that have been brought into your life as well. So feel free to, and I think they may have to do with your self-worth and your self-value and your fears of letting go and things like that. So this is coming up for you to address right now within yourself. And if that rings a bell for this situation or for you, just know that you are right where you're meant to be and you're doing the right thing. Sometimes we kind of just have to look at it from a different perspective of like, I did learn that, or I am learning that, or I am growing in that, you know what I'm saying? And I think that there's a need for, ooh, wow, I just heard your self-respect, which I'm hearing you have. Like, that's not a problem. And it's not that you don't respect yourself, but there's certain energies and certain people and certain emotions that cloud your judgment a bit from that. And so always going back to that self-respect, going back to that, well, is this what I deserve? Am I willing to put up with this type of behavior? Oh, I'm not? Okay, well then these emotions are they're just emotions. They're not telling me that I need this person. They're not telling me I need to go back to this person. They're telling me that this is an attachment to this that I need to allow and feel and allow to myself to give space and detach and heal and do all the necessary things, but I'm not going to compromise my self-worth and my self-respect because I'm feeling this way. And that is emotional maturity, and that is rising above a lot, and that is also something that is very powerful, and it is a great tool. So let's get one more card. Anything else for the advice here for pile 2, please? Oh, we have attachments. Yeah, I think that there's a need to really to listen to yourself on what's attachments and what's not. Attachments can be so powerful, and I want to commend you, and I want to validate those feelings right now. I want you to listen to me when I say your whatever actions, whatever choices and feelings that your attachments had made you do or feel or allow is valid, because they are so strong and they are very hard to differentiate, especially before, when you don't know certain things or when you don't learn about certain things. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't even experience certain things to where you can have the strength, you know, to overcome this. So I want you to forgive yourself for any kind of things that you may have done in the past or things that you have allowed, because that's what attachments do. That's quite literally their job. But also, I want you to differentiate the fact of love and attachments, and not letting your attachments make you compromise your boundaries and your self-worth and what you know you truly deserve. So attachments a lot of the time are rooted in desire. They're rooted in a feeling of like that I need you. They're rooted in like, I need this person. I need you. I need this to be happy. I need this to be okay. I need this to work out. That's an attachment. That's especially an attachment to the end result as well. They're also rooted in lust. The attachments are very strongly rooted in lust. What are some other things, Spirit? Some other examples? Because now my mind's going blank. Those could be the main things. Like, that could be the main thing for sure that is causing this. Emotional attachments. Like, we can have emotional attachments to the past, and so we may not even be aware of them. And yeah, but all of those kind of things, just to remind yourself, are attachments. That's not necessarily love. Love, I know it sounds so cliche, but love is patient, and love is kind, and love is willing to allow things to be them, and allow things to play out, and allow things to do them. And I'm not saying that you're not capable of love when you have attachments too. But what I'm saying is that don't let these attachments dictate your choices and your life and yourself anymore. You're right. You're quite literally rising up, and now is your time to overcome these things. I feel like this is a final, like, tough battle for you, where you're like rising from the ashes, and you're like, okay, no more. And it's like you're gonna have this newfound knowledge, this newfound strength, and this newfound ability to navigate the rest of your life with, and the rest of your relationships with, from this point on, which I think is pretty cool. So I am going to leave this reading here, though, on that note. Thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much for being here. Love you. Love all the support. Love the likes. Just a simple like right now, if you were to just like the video, that just makes me so happy, because it does so much, and it's such a simple way to show any kind of support, and you literally don't have to do anything. And I like not doing anything. So, and I also, because I understand that not everyone wants to share your story or your experience in the comments, and that's perfectly fine, and you don't have to, and I would never make anyone. But for those of you that do, I am so proud of you, and you guys are amazing. You guys are so brave, and I love listening to your experiences, your support, and what you have to say. It's very important, okay? And thank you as well to all the subscribers. That means that you liked me and you want to see more, and that makes me feel so good too, of course. So I can't wait to continue on this journey with you and continue making these readings for you. And if you would like to be a part of that, feel free to subscribe now, and I will see you there. Bye! Hi Pile 3, welcome to your reading. If you chose the Swan Jasper Crescent Moon, or if you chose the Textured Tarot deck, welcome to your reading. So today we are looking at a person that you are not currently in contact with or in a separation with, and we are going to be asking, how do they feel, or how are they truly feeling about you? So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope this video is finding you guys well. Oh, if you notice that there's a nail change from the other piles or the intro, don't be alarmed. I just filmed this like 2 weeks ago, and we're back. Here we are. No biggie. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on your reading. But I do want to ask first, Spirit, if you could please tune me in to my Pile 3's collective energy. Spirit, if you can please show me in Pile 3 with the most clarity how this person that they are not currently in contact with is feeling about them. and anything else they may need to know at this time, please. Thank you. So how are they feeling about you, pile 3? What is going on with them in the realm of their feelings? We have the 5 of Swords in reverse. How are they feeling about pile 3, Spirit? We have the Tower. And we have the King of Wands in reverse. Let's get one more, and then we'll get some clarifiers, and we will get to it. How are they feeling currently about pile 3, Spirit? What is this person feeling? Oops. I'm really called to the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. We also have the Fool as well. And that's way too many cards. But I'm going to take that one for you guys specifically. If any of the other cards were meant to come out, they will definitely make an appearance. That's nothing to worry about. So clarifying the 5 of Swords, Spirit. Why is the 5 of Swords in reverse here? We have the Page of Swords in reverse, as well as we have the King of Swords. I feel called to keep both of these because I feel like these both kind of tell a little story, and I will need to remember because my memory is horrible. So that one, that extra one, we definitely will keep. And clarifying the Tower, Spirit. We have the 5 of Wands in reverse. Wow, this is some energy. I'll say that right now. Clarifying the King of Wands in reverse. Why is the King of Wands here? We have the 8 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, these messages are very clear. This is a very powerful looking 8 of Swords card as well. Because it does kind of depict a lot of the times self-inflicted binds. And so the fact that it's the barbed wire and like the wounds is kind of, it's a powerful interpretation. Interesting. Okay, clarifying the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. What's up with that? The 7 of Wands here. Okay. Yeah, like I said, we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Like I said, there's definitely some interesting energy coming through here. It doesn't feel like the easiest time this person is having in regards to you and their feelings. It feels like there's a lot of confliction about what to do, what this person thinks that they should do, what they want to do. It's definitely kind of an inner struggle or an internal struggle when it comes to you and how they feel. Let's talk about these two cards that are coming out together as well. We have the Page of Swords and we have the King of Swords. Clarified by the 5 of Swords, this person has thought a lot about things that they want to say to you. This person has thought a lot about maybe even reaching out to you. This person has also just thought a lot about this situation and what they should do. Now, going from a page to a king is telling me that this person is trying to make the best choices for themselves. I feel like there has been a lot of growth, maybe even a lot of personal development within because of this connection for this person. But it feels like this person wants to either reach out or address something, but there's like this energy of trying to be mature, trying to do what they feel is right, almost like an energy of like kind of stopping themselves. And that's why we have this conflicted energy of this 5 of Swords here. And I feel like it's coming in reverse as well, because I do feel like it's causing this person to have some sort of blockages, mental blockages about what to do within this situation. The fact that it is 3 Swords cards as well is telling me that this person is trying to be very analytical about this situation. They're trying to be very logical and maybe even not have too many feelings get in the way. This King of Swords actually person has a hawk. It looks like a hawk on their shoulder and an owl on the other shoulder, which does signify, you know, channeling it or getting into your intuition as well as a higher perspective, which is very much King of Swords energy. It's like trusting your judgment, your inner guidance, not listening to the negative thoughts in your mind. And I think that this is coming in reverse for this person because this person struggles with that. I think that they kind of have some sort of inner battle going on when it comes to you about what they feel like they should do, this inner guidance, and what they want to do. if that makes sense. And it's not that it's coming in reverse because this person's not listening or they're not in tune with their intuition. It just feels like they haven't made a direct decision yet, and it still kind of feels like they're going back and forth when it comes to you, or when they think about you, or when these things come up in regards to you and this connection that you guys share. And we have the Tower and the Five of Wands here. There's definitely a lot of internal conflict. I feel like this Five of Wands is coming in reverse because it's signifying that this conflict is internal, especially the fact that they're not in contact with you, so it's not like you and them are arguing. I mean, you guys could have argued in the past. There could have been like some kind of blowout, and that could be something that this person has kind of carried with them. For example, words that were said, whether that was by them. Because I think that when it comes to communication as well, this person's not necessarily the best at it. This person could definitely be somebody who is quick to anger, but also regrets it afterwards. I can definitely see that with these cards here. But with the Tower here, it feels like it's a very uncomfortable... Okay, so I heard that with the Tower here, it's like they're letting this fall, they're letting it crumble, they're letting it escape, and they're not doing anything about it, and it's causing this internal conflict is what Spirit's saying with this right here. Like, it's not that they're going necessarily through a Tower moment, which I'm sure they may be. I'm sure it's affecting them in that kind of way, but I feel like it's here signifying the destruction of this connection. The fact that it is kind of crumbling, and there's something within them that wants to fight for this. There's something within them that wants to try to keep it together, or keep this together, or keep it going, but they're not doing that. And so that's why we're seeing a lot of this back and forth, these fives here, this conflicted energy of like mentally overthinking this and even feeling it, you know, with the Five of Wands. I think the Five of Wands is a struggle of, like I said, wanting to fight for this, wanting to do something about it, wanting to take some sort of action, but not. And so it kind of is just lingering here. And I'm also hearing that maybe this person doesn't like to think about this situation at this time because of this. It's kind of something that maybe they try to avoid, because I think that this is a very uncomfortable energy. And I feel very strongly that this person isn't going to just sit here and think and analyze. And so there could be an avoidance as well with this, but that doesn't mean it's not there. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't ever come up. That's not what I'm saying. It's that, they don't like to feel this way a lot of the time. They don't want to dwell in this energy because it's hard, it's uncomfortable. And if they're not doing anything about it, there is an avoidance here. Okay. So let's move on to the King of Wands and the Eight of Swords. The King of Wands in reverse here is telling me that this person does have a lot of passion and energy, you know, and feelings. Not even like, I know the King of Cups is feelings, but the King of Wands is like passion. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's something in there kind of burning. It could be desire as well. Again, that they're not direct, they're not using it in a direct way. They're not using it in the outer. And so with the Eight of Swords here, it feels like they're not doing this because they feel like there's no way that it is what it is, at least at this time. Because I'm kind of viewing this Eight of Swords as like mental traps. Like, well, there probably is a way, or there probably is something that they could do, or you know what I'm saying? Like there's some, like whether it's just communicating in a proper way, if that's something that is an option for them, you know, but to them right now, it feels like they just feel like they can't. Even if it's not, I'm hearing, even if it's not for a specific like reason, like it's not because like they're blocked, or even if they are blocked, it's like it's not for something physical. It's like they're just feeling like they can't. And that's really interesting as well. I do think that the Eight of Swords in reverse here is indicating, though, that they're kind of coming out of this confusion, though, that they are on this quest to finding their inner power, their inner authority, with this King of Wands saying, I'm going to take charge. Like, if this is something that I really want, if this is something that is important to me, it's, you know, I have the power and I can do something about it. It feels like they're not quite there yet, but they are kind of coming out of it. Like, it feels like they're starting to see something. This person may have recently, as you're watching this, depending on whatever time that is, may have recently had some difficult like transits. like planetary transits, and this could have caused them to have some sort of confusion. For example, one of the examples that could possibly be I'm hearing is like Neptune, like a difficult transit. So like that could be like Neptune transiting their first house, their 8th house, even the 12th house. That can be very confusing, or maybe even a retrograde for some of you as well. And it's something that is affecting their personal chart though, their personal transit. So it could, you know, relate to what's actually going on for everybody or not. But that's just a message coming through as well, is that there might be some difficult transits that were kind of causing this person to not see clearly, to feel things. Sometimes our emotions can cause a lot of confusion, you know, and our fears can be very powerful is what I'm hearing as well. Like sometimes our fears can definitely make us think or believe things that aren't necessarily true. But yeah, there's a want to make this work, but there's also a resistance here. Spirit, why is the 7 of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles coming in reverse here? This message, I feel like there's a couple different things. There's something here about wanting to work or a job or something that they need to focus on as well. And so they feel like right now distractions can definitely, or have been, hindering them in their money situations. But I think for the most part as well too, this person, you know, sees you as somebody who is in it for the long run, for long-term investments in this connection. And that's something that they're wondering about. How long is this going to hold up is something that I'm hearing with the 7 of Wands in reverse as well too. Like how long? I think this person's strength is being tested and their resilience is being tested when it comes to you and when it comes to this situation. It's like, how much longer is this going to happen, or is this going to go on? For some of you, this person could be looking for a job or in the process of changing jobs, or something here about career that seems to be taking up a lot of their time and energy. Yeah, we have the Emperor underneath the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah. It feels like this person could be focused a lot right now on finances or just on some sort of stability here. But the Emperor at the bottom of the deck is telling me that this person is trying to be very disciplined right now in their life. They're trying to be very focused on things. And I think that may be why this situation is very tough for them to focus on directly, because it does cause them, whether they know it or not, I think it kind of siphons some energy out of them. Like it seems to be like this person could, when they think about this situation, or when they tune into this like energy, which is like, if you read tarot, you know, the 5 of Swords, the 5 of Wands, the Tower, the 8 of Swords, that's some like oof energy, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that they may be like very drained when it comes to this. And the 10 of Pentacles coming in reverse is telling me that they're kind of wondering what the future is going to hold here with you. I'm picking up on that's kind of like, I wonder what it's going to be. Let's get some oracles here. So Spirit, what else can you tell us about this person's feelings for pile 3 right now? Oh, I knew it. I saw it like flip, like do a little flip, and I was like, oh yeah, they definitely are trying to distance themselves or feeling like they need a timeout. I think that's with that kind of exhaustion energy. I think that this also is in this is like a confirmation to that message of like this person is trying to like take a break from that. What was I saying, guys? You know what I was saying. Kind of like it's a lot for them for whatever reason. And so I just heard distance makes the heart grow fonder as well. And that's interesting with this assistance, the spirit guide's assistance. I think that this person has a lot of things that they are seeing or needing to see or are going to be seen, as in like realizations, learning and growth within this distance between you and them, within this timeout, within this space, you know, I guess you could say, between you and this. And it feels like there is some divine guidance in regards to this. And that's why we were kind of seeing before that this person is developing. Going from a Page of Swords to the King of Swords is definitely a lot of growth and maturity as well. And I think that that's what this person is kind of being guided to be with that Emperor underneath the Ten of Pentacles as well. It's like in the future, this person is headed down a path where they are a lot more mature, where they are a lot more stable, and able to control themselves a bit better as well too, is what I'm hearing. Oh yeah, so we have the shadow side, which is the dark side of the moon, which is definitely, you know, kind of tough energy to be in right now. I think that this person right now, in regards to the situation, it does feel very dark to them. It does feel like it brings out their shadow side a lot. And that could be in the form of triggers or acting in ways that they aren't necessarily proud of, doing things that they aren't necessarily proud of. Also, their shadow side can come through as like their insecurities as well. And then now we have thoughts at the bottom of the deck here, which is isolating, which definitely means that this person is very much in their head. Kind of like how we were seeing here with the Five of Swords in reverse, and the King of Swords and the Page of Swords, very much in their head, very much trying to figure out what's true, what's not, what's the best thing to do. I think this person is probably a natural overthinker, and that's why they're kind of feeling like they do need this distance, this time away. I just heard again, distance makes the heart grow fonder. So maybe there was a lot of things that this person was feeling like that was making them uncomfortable, and the longer they kind of are able to separate themselves from that, the more they're starting to feel better things as well. But I don't know when that's going to be or how long, and I'm not saying wait around or anything like that. I would never say that to anybody, but it's because it feels like with the tarot cards, the energy is still very intense with this person. There's a lot of intensity here, and definitely a lot of triggers for sure. It does feel like a tough energy this person is in, just when it comes to you and how they feel. Let's get some channeled messages. I just like you right now. Interesting. Spirit, what are some channel messages about how this person is feeling towards pile 3, please? We have I want you. Oh, there is desire here for you. No wonder why there's such conflicting energies. This I want you is an interesting card. This also, it has a very sexual connotation to it. So that could be something as well. This person could have a lot of sexual desire for you as well. I actually have a story about this personal story. That, because for example, I don't know why I feel called to share this story, but like, for example, if you saw that and you were just like, okay, yeah, that's probably, that message isn't for me because it doesn't feel like this person wants you. I swear there's like truth. There's so much truth behind these channel messages. It's crazy because one time I don't like to do this in my personal relationships, and this was a while ago as well, but I just wanted to like be like, oh, well, how does this person feel about me, you know, whatever, in my life. And so I got I want you was the card, and I put it back, and I was like, no, and it came out again, and I was like, whatever, Spirit. I was like, I don't believe that. And then the next day I woke up with a text message from that person it literally said, I want you. Like, that was the message. And there were some other messages before, but the last message, the message that popped up was, I want you. So if you don't believe that, then they probably do, and they're probably just holding back. I'm just being honest, because that's the energy that we were getting here, like a lot of conflicted energy of like not doing what they want to do, feeling like they shouldn't, or holding back, and it's and it shows here that they do want you. But like I said, this could be a very sexual message, sexual connotations to it as well, because also when they said it to me, it was like that too. It was, there's There's a desire for you, for sure, for sure. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. Because I did this so long ago, I quickly, like, just so I could remember when I was doing your guys' reading, just so I could remember, like, the format and stuff, I went over my little written notes that I have for you guys, and I saw your channeled song, and your channeled song was literally Poker Face by Lady Gaga, which, you know, the message of Poker Face is like, I'm not showing my cards, I'm keeping a straight face, you're not going to know how I feel, you don't know what's going on with me. So, I don't know, guys, I don't know, but obviously listen to your intuition and things like that, but yes, people can be so conflicted at times. Okay. Channeled messages from this person. I come alive with you. I feel like that card was in reverse, kind of. I don't normally read reversals for the channel messages, but I think that that card coming in reverse is I come alive with you. And then maybe they're kind of feeling that energy, that lack of energy, or that lack of spark, you know, now that you guys are in a separation as well. We have I belong to you. Okay. And we have I have financial issues. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was kind of thinking for some of you that Eight of Pentacles in reverse could have been like a job loss. Like this person could actually be kind of going through struggles in work right now. And that could be one of the reasons why they may be holding back a little bit more as well too. That could have a big thing with their confidence, or it could just be taking a lot of their time and energy like the original message was too. Bottom of the deck, we have I get lost in your eyes. Let's get one more channel message deck, and then we will get to your advice on what you should do about this situation, because sometimes these readings can be a little bit, they can stir up some feelings in us, huh? Especially when we're in a separation of like, well, now I feel like this person, they have this desire, but they're not doing anything. What do I do? You know, and that's where the advice kind of comes in. It's just a little something for you. A little some for you. Okay, so we have, is there still a chance? That fell on the ground. What are some channel messages for how this person feels, Spirit? I think you're the one. Wow. This could have been, this right here could be something that's kind of they're contemplating because of this space or this distance as well. We have you drive me crazy. This is very, I'm taking this one because that energy of the tarot is definitely, it's definitely a you drive me crazy type of energy. We're going to keep that for sure. Okay, Spirit, let's get like two more from this deck. How is this person feeling? Unblock me right now. I was kind of feeling like some of you guys had this person blocked. If you don't have this person blocked, though, that could just be like the blockages in this connection. But if you do, they're definitely coming through. I feel like I'm losing you. That could definitely be that energy too. Not this, I block you of like, the conflicted energy. And you know, a message that I was honestly getting, guys, but I didn't want to say it because it kind of sounded a little toxic, but now that we're here, we'll say it, was, if you do have this person blocked, one of the things that they were kind of conflicted about is like reaching out, through another source. like whether that's like another number or a different account or something like that. Like they were contemplating that as well too. But I don't think that they're gonna do it, or maybe for some of you they already have, but I feel like the person is like kind of against it. That's the energy that I was picking up on, or I was channeling before. I feel like the person was kind of against it a little bit, but they were like tempted, you know what I'm saying? Bottom of the deck, oh yeah, because we have I don't want to stay where I'm not wanted. Tell me you love me. Okay. You feel like I'm losing you. Yeah, all of these are pretty telling. I don't think I need to elaborate too much into these. And I like to leave sometimes the channel messages up to you and your interpretation. So with that being said, let's go ahead and head into your advice. I don't know if I shuffled this deck from before, but so Spirit, what advice do we have for pile 3 in regards to this situation? We have the Angel of Love in reverse. We have the Angel of Balance in reverse. patience in reverse and walking away in reverse. Okay. There's nothing wrong with reversals, especially in this deck. I know some people always say that there's they don't like reversals and stuff like that, and that's fine. To each his own. I already went on a rant in another reading about how each reader is different, and we should allow each reader to read however they want, because that's how their intuition works, and we shouldn't try to box people in. But that's neither here nor there. Especially in this deck. They have a specific meanings for the reversals. I like to do it intuitively because I cannot for the life of me remember what they would be. We can always pull some up too, but just know that it's not that it's like the negative. It's a completely different like elaboration. So with that being said, I feel like the angel of love, which you're probably not going to want to hear this, coming in reverse for you, is about self-love. I think it's about, remembering that you have so much love to give, but don't forget to take care of yourself. I know it's probably the message you hear all the time, and I'm sorry if it is, but it's definitely something that I feel is here. Like, there is a lot of love for you in this world, and there is a lot of love with you from within too. So also don't be afraid to look for love in other places as well, as in, your day-to-day life, your family, your pets, there's so much beautiful love. The universe is quite literally made of beautiful love. You know what I'm saying? And so Spirit's kind of saying like to maybe take the focus off of other people as well. Like, relationships and things like that are important, and they show us a lot about ourselves. And I'm not saying that you have to completely forget about that or stop trying relationships. Spirit, all this message is kind of saying is don't forget that there's other forms of love out there, especially coming from you, because I do feel like there's a lack of balance here in regards to whether that's your life. So whatever you feel like needs more of your time right now, more of your attention, Spirit's kind of saying, even if that's resting, even if that's like resting your mind, or if that's your work, or if that's your priorities and things like that, Spirit's saying like, there's something here in your life that needs to come back into balance, because balance is very important, in our lives, and it helps us have a better life. Keeping things balanced is quite literally the key to being content, and it's a tightrope walk a lot of the times, and it's something that we all as humans struggle with, but it's something that's very important. So for example, like in a connection, like keeping a balance between your own priorities, your self-attention, and giving your partner attention. If it gets off balance, if it teeters one way, we tend to be a little bit more codependent, don't we? And if it teeters one way, we tend to completely ignore our partners. And it's a beautiful balance. And also, like in your life, your day-to-day routines can require a beautiful balance. Like if you have goals and things like that, if you're just go, you may reach a burnout. If you balance your life, rest, work, everything like that, you will be able to have things in the long run. So Spirit's kind of saying focus on anything in your life that you feel like needs a little bit more of your time, a little bit more of your attention. You don't have to devote everything to it, of course, but make sure that you're keeping things in balance. And with the patience card in reverse and the walking away in reverse coming out together, I think that this is a lot of confusion of like, do I let go of this? What do I do? It's really hard for me. I feel like for a lot of you, you're like, I've tried. And I think for a lot of you, you're doing a lot better than you think. And I think that also a good reminder is that things are a process, that, you can decide to, whether it's like you've decided to walk away, that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. That doesn't mean that you're not going to deal with some sort of grief process. And it doesn't mean that you're probably going to, or it does mean that you're probably going to have to make that decision again and again and again. So nothing's like one way or the other. This is a process for you. And with the patience coming in reverse, it can feel like you're running out of time. Spirit's saying that's an illusion. Okay, you have time. Give yourself patience, give yourself grace. Again, that may be something that you don't want to hear right now, or like eye roll, you're tired of hearing that, like I've been waiting, but it's like, if nothing is happening anyways, you really, what are you going to do, So spend your time wisely as well. Do things that fulfill you, that fill your cup, and kind of keep your focus in a lighthearted way is something that I think is great advice, because that's what, you know, makes life worth living at times too, is just doing things that we like to do. Also, I feel like if you're wondering what the future holds with this message, Spirit's kind of saying that in time you will see. You don't have to make any rash decisions, or you don't have to have a specific outcome in mind. You can be more inclined to just go with the flow at this time, but also remember, doing what's best for you is the goal. So it's like, I'm just kind of, these two cards together is very much like, maybe you don't know what the future holds either, kind of like this person too. And sometimes we just don't know. Sometimes we have to accept the fact that uncertainty is a part of life. And we can make our best choices, whatever choice you decide to make, whether that's to walk away fully or to, I don't want to say like hold on or wait for this person, because Spirit doesn't want you to do that either. You know what I'm saying? And so there is a lingering energy here, but just know that it is a process, and you are making the correct choices for yourself, and you are on the right path, okay? And there's a lot of emotions I feel that can come up for you at certain times, and maybe you have certain days where you feel one way, like where you feel really strong and powerful and good, and like you don't need anybody, and you're okay, and what were you even worried about? And then you have other days that can come after that where it feels like it's you kind of are reverted back to day one. And Spirit's saying that give yourself grace. This is a part of the process. This is how grief works. It's not linear. It's not like one day you are, which this kind of does feel like it happens sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, because that's happened to me sometimes, where it's like, but it's after the grief process where I go through feels like a never-ending like process of like feeling things, you know, for somebody, or missing somebody, or just going through the release process and the grief process. And then I do assure you, one day you will wake up and be like, okay, I'm good, or I do feel better, or I do feel stronger. So I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but just trust in the process is all Spirit's saying, and have patience with yourself. There's no time to that, and there's no right or wrong way. There's just your way and how you do it and what's best for you. So yeah, I think as I'm looking at these cards, I think that's it for right now. That's very telling. Bottom of the deck, we have Healer of the Ages. There is a lot of healing energy that is happening for you. Bottom under that, we have Envy. Don't worry too much about what you don't have at this time. Worry about what you bring to the table, which is a lot. Like, you are somebody who's worth the best, and so you will have the best for you one day. And it may not be right this second, it may not be right now, it may not be this person, it may be this person. Like I said, I think Spirit's really urging you to find comfort in some sort of uncertainties here, because that's where you keep a lot of peace too, of just giving it up to God, is what I'm hearing specifically for you. Allowing things to be as they're meant to is something too, which again, I feel like for a lot of you, you know this, and I feel like for some of you, you may be very annoyed with hearing that again, but I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, I guess. So on that note, I am going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for staying. I love you guys, and I just want the best for you guys as well. And I know you guys are going to get the best because you deserve the best. So thank you for all who like the videos too. That's such a simple way to show support for the channel. Thank you to all who comment or are subscribed as well. You know, it means so much to me. I definitely couldn't do it without you. I love hearing your guys' stories and your experiences, and yeah, it just warms my little heart. So I can't wait to read for you guys in the next one, which I'm actually think I'm gonna start right after here, since I took a little breaky break and I only had to finish this one. So I'll see you guys there. Oh, if you don't want to miss out on the next one, or see other different types of content that I have as well, or tons of Timeless Tarot past content that I have as well, feel free to subscribe so you won't miss out, and I will see you guys there. Bye.